They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming.
All right, it's time to nerd out a little. So these hinges worked out very well. I had plenty of rotation, and bedwood did not impact the bed at all, and it articulated very well. So this design of hinge is like very prevalent when you're looking through the market trying to find something. It's used in commercial, it's used in like architectural, it's used in automotive, it's used all over the place, and they change in size from being this big to being this big, and you find them even on like kitchen cabinets and stuff. So that's where this design came from for this one. I utilized it because I saw the action of this type of hinge and it seemed to check all the boxes. So I went ahead and I played around with the linkages, and I did some cardboard aided design, and I figured out the range of motion of these that would work. The hinge checked all the boxes. It worked. So I had it made, I installed them in my truck. They worked out well. I modified them, I improved them, I made them look a little bit nicer. I improved like the bearings and the washers and the PTFE, like nylon, not nylon, but PTFE washers. Everything worked awesome. Then I had some time to reflect on the design a little bit. I played around with them a little bit, and I noticed there were some points that could be improved upon. So I looked online again, and I could not find another bed hinge that opened 90 degrees, full open. And I went and I started reading about like hinge dynamics and like moments of rotation and stuff like that. And holy hell, so there's a reason that hinges don't open 90 degrees. You'll notice on like C10 hood hinges, I think it is, C10 hood hinges, there's one of the hinge arms actually clocks the other hinge arm. So it's like not only does it hinge like this, but it also hinges out. So it's like, it's designed in such a way that some draftsman 50 years ago sat down and spent a lot of time figuring this out, and there's just a lot of wear points in these, so they'll have like a pendulum kind of that swings on the hinge. That's how they achieve that 90 degree open without impacting the back of the hood with the cowl of the vehicle. I spent a lot of time drawing and drafting and deleting and undoing and redoing and fixing and just revising. It paid off. It really did. It paid off a lot, because I was able to achieve a hood or a box hinge or any type of hinge. You can use this hinge anywhere that opens up perfect, comes up perfectly. So this end of the bed only moves out that way before it hinges up by about 1/32 of an inch. So not even a full millimeter. So most people leave a 32nd or a 16th of an inch anyways, just so they don't scuff the paint when they're moving their hinge or when they're moving their wood. Now, on top of that, the actual hinged component lifts up, clocks out, and then lifts up again to completely avoid touching the front of your bed and the top of the wood that's beside this portion here. So this design, this first generation of the Bad Oman Classics scissor hinges, works really, really well. And I wanted better than that. So I spent all that time like I was talking about, and I did it. I was able to make a hinge that opens up 90 degrees. So I'm going to show you this hinge, why I wanted to modify it. So let's go ahead, let's do some B-roll. I'll show you some of these hinge kind of actions, and then we'll look at the AutoCAD design, we'll look at the engineering behind it, and then hopefully soon I'll have a price here on a set of the second generation Bad Oman hinges. So let's get to it. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. It means a lot. The more viewers I get, the more I can design like this, and I can improve. I can spend tons of time. I can spend the time needed to improve stuff that would normally cost a fortune to pay an engineer to do. So let's improve the hot rod market. Let's do it as a group, community, and I love doing this. So if you can support me in doing this, I will support you by providing low-cost parts that can or are good. I gotta stop swearing, or else I'm not gonna be able to put my videos on YouTube. Let's get to it. This here, folks, is the bed, pretty much open, full tilt. You'll see, so right now my bedwood actually isn't fully fastened to the frame that actually rotates. So this bedwood is just shy of touching. There's about a 1/16 of an inch right here and here. This one's not fully fastened down yet, so mind you, don't worry about that. It looks like it's touching just because it's not fastened down. And this one here is just barely, that one's barely touching, and that's because when I installed my hinge, I screwed up, actually, to tell you the truth. And, let's crawl in here. I didn't leave enough room when I mounted this one for this arm to fully close. So that's the issue there. I need to actually lower this whole hinge assembly down just slightly. So that's the first issue with my install anyways. Now you'll notice right here, if I were to throw this stainless strip on, and they're not fastened down yet because I have no way to fasten these things down properly without them getting all twisted. So it's hard to see. Let's get shape. Okay, so this piece of steel is really close to the top of this at this point. That's as far as this is gonna go. So this hinge, I can't lift this up anymore because it's gonna start hitting this. And if I were to push this hinge assembly out further and rotate it back, this would actually hit this. And I don't want that. So that's kind of the design limitation of a lot of these scissor hinges in these trucks. That's what prevents these hinges or these beds from tilting any more than this. So this bedwood is already tilted up even more than a lot of the other ones that are on the market will allow, which is cool. So thumbs up on that. The issue lies in why don't people make this hinge open up 90 degrees? I mean, come on. So I actually spent a little bit of time engineering this stuff and I made it work. So but we're gonna crawl in here and actually look at these hinges. So I have bearings installed between the arms, and then I have a shoulder bolt that runs through. So these hinge arms actually rotate on a shaft that's almost like zero tolerance fit inside of this arm. So it's super tight. I've offset the plane of these, this one, and this one, so that it doesn't want to rotate and it's really, really strong. These PTFE washers do not react with stainless. They're anaerobic, so they repel water as well. So everything is designed to work really well. All the components work. It was just the overall action of this arm. It just, I don't know. It was one of those things where it can be done, so why not do it, sort of thing. So I spent some time, I played around, I improved upon it. I'm happy with these hinges, and if I'd never achieved what I just did, this would have been cool. I would have made this work. Like this, I mean, look at that. That's so cool. It opens, and it's sweet. But why not make it open 90 degrees, right? Like, you could put a flag. You could put a flag on this thing in a shaft, and at a car show, you could stand this thing up and extend. Like, that's 77 inches. That's like, what is that? Like 5 feet or 6 feet or something like that? I don't know. You could extend this thing up, and then you could have a flag that sticks 12 feet in the air, right? Like, that's cool. It's kind of a gimmick, but whatever, it's cool. Like, you can just do cool shit, so why not? I'm gonna show you how this hinge moves here real quick, and you can just watch the action here. So here, just watch this. Let's just stick you right here. pull my broom out. Lower this down. There. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to show you something here real quick. So this gap between this front little pocket and then the bedwood, this one touches, this one touches, this one touches, this one touches, but the boards don't. They all have that 32nd or 1/16th gap, which is what I was trying to achieve, because that is a tight fit. Like by the time you paint that, that'll fill that. So what I wanted to achieve was a bed that sat in the pocket, and when you lifted it, the front of these boards did not scratch this, and then I guess these are the back of the boards, and then the front of the boards, where they sit, did not hit the front of your bed. That was the overall goal. So this one achieved that, but the issue is it was limited rotation. I've said that a few times. I have a tendency to repeat myself. So pull this up. Clears up there. And here, let's grab this. There. So I think actually that might be hitting now. Yeah, that one's definitely hitting. That one's not. That's not. That's just starting to hit there. So, I mean, let's actually here, watch. Let's see what angle that is with my angle scale off Amazon. Error. Okay, so mind you, that's a shitty old wood stool, a crappy concrete floor. Okay, sure, 2.7 degrees. I don't know. Let's just have a little look here. That's not going to stick because that's stainless, but come on. Oh, you bugger. Oh, here, wait a second. Let's go old school. Old school. Let's see what we're at. I gotta make sure this sits right there. Okay, yeah, 45 degrees. 47 degrees. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let's turn this light off. Can you see that now? No. So this bed lifts to about 47 degrees. I'd probably say 45 degrees before it starts touching any of that stuff. So that's cool, but why not double that? That's the plan, and in today's video, I'm going to do that. So stick around, watch it, and yeah, let's make it happen. Okay, so I am in the drafting software that I use to come up with my kind of hinge lengths and figure out the path of motion that I want this whole thing to run through. So yeah, I'm just going to run through this and I'll show you how I came about the final path of motion and what its limits are. So we're just going to zoom in on this guy here. Okay, so this is the top of the board right here, this line. This is the top corner. This is the front of your bed. This is the panel. This right here is the bottom forward part of your bedwood, or actually the steel frame. The distance between this and this is 1 3/4 of an inch. So 3/4 of an inch for the top board, and then 1 inch for the 1x1 square tubing that you can use as a frame. So those are the dimensions that I worked with. So we're going to run this hinge and I'll show you how it rotates. Back out of here. Okay.
So this is the path of motion. This is how it runs. And full rotation, 90 degrees. Swings back down. And stops. Okay, so rearward movement, 0.058 inches. That equates to between 3/64ths and 1/16th of an inch. Also between 1.2 millimeters and 1.5 millimeters, about there. So not very much rearward movement of the bed. Like that's how much clearance you have to make at the bottom down here. So you can chamfer the edge of the wood like this, kind of like smooth it out so that when it lifts up, it doesn't impact the pocket that it's sitting in. And then when the board is completely vertical, it is 0.032 inches away from the, I guess it would be the front of your bed. 0.032, that equates to 5/16ths of an inch about. So quite a ways off. And then at the bottom here, this portion of your wood, so it's more than vertical. It's swung past 90 degrees, so it's probably about 95 degrees of motion, maybe a little bit less than that, 92 degrees or something. So 0.803 equates to, where are we at? 0.803, did I say? 13/64ths, or somewhere between 3/4 and 7/8 of an inch. So that's that guy. That's pretty darn good. That's very good. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I use this software to attain all these dimensions. I dimensioned out these, and then I pulled those out and I threw them into my AutoCAD program. So I'll go ahead and show you that. Here we are. We've got the AutoCAD program pulled up. I have the 3D rendering of my truck bed modeled. Not exactly. I didn't perfectly spec this stuff out. I do intend to spec all this stuff out so that I could actually produce or fabricate these bedsides for people. The current replacement cost for one of these bedsides is upwards of like $800 for this. I'm fairly certain I could probably build this for probably like $200, maybe less than that. So I could supply these for $300 or $400 or something like that. By the time I had it cut, it would be local supply. I don't know if I'd be able to ship one of these. If someone wanted me to, I could send them the cut files for these bedsides. But okay, that's besides the point. What we're focused on today is this actual bed actuation and this bedwood scissor hinge. So I've got all the bed panels modeled. I got the stainless strips, everything. And this is spec'd straight from what I have in my garage. I have the underside frame that I designed that holds all my bedwood and all the panels. I have these side strips right here that I designed that hold or capture a 1x1 square tube so that you can cut off the original cross members, and you can weld these on, slide a 1x1 in there, and then weld them and hold it, and essentially that'll raise your bed. It's a really simple method, and again, that's something else I could supply to people if they wanted a set of those. So let's look at these hinges. All those dimensions that I gathered out of that drafting software, I used it and I pulled it into my CAD program, and I created these 4 arms and 2 plates. I have not finalized the mounting design yet for here to here and here to here. This is just a rough tentative. Wanted to verify my path of motion before I went ahead and put any more work into it. So that's where we are at with that. So let's give you a demo on how this thing moves. Front of the bed, tailgate would be right here. This is fully nested in the box of the truck, and let's swing it open. Swings up. Oh, that's passed. Okay. Let's zoom in on this. Let's see how far past. Actually, the limit here is actually going to be these arms right here. So if I swing that, this arm starts to impact about right there. It's close. Let's see if we can get a little bit there. That's probably about the limit, is where this arm hits this arm and puts quite a bit of tension on it. And the bed is going to be, yeah, that's definitely more than 90 degrees. Look at that. Like, that's awesome. And when it's open at that point, this is what the hinge looks like. So lots of room. You don't have to worry about this hitting this or any of this stuff hitting itself. And the actual bed, like tilting bed component, sits over top of anything that was sitting beside it by nearly an inch. So that's pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, it turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out. And it looks good too. Like, look at that. Swing through all the way up, drops down, sits in there, and it looks sweet while it's doing it. Oh yeah, another skill is learning how to manipulate and move around your AutoCAD program, your model. That is like mind-bending. So here you go. So when this thing is fully opened, here, let's show you that. When this thing is fully opened, this is how far the components sit from the front of your bed to the top of the board. Like, there's so much clearance. You have nothing to worry about. Like, it lifts beautifully. So, oh, where do we go? That's where we're at with that. It turned out really awesome. I'm very happy with the finalized design. I'm going to throw my logo on it. I'm going to get a quote on material costs for all these components, and then I'll get a price out there, and hopefully a few of you folks would like to buy it off me. So yeah, let's make it happen. Thanks for watching.
I put a lot of time into this, and as of right now, I still need to make a bit of a living. So I got bills to pay, and I'm gonna sell these hinges in order to pay some of those bills. But as my viewership goes up and I start making money off helping people just by providing the information, the cost of the hinges is gonna come down to a point, hopefully, it would be pretty sweet if I could just give away the designs. That's the goal. And share this video with your friends, and maybe we can get there one day. That's the plan. Let's help out the hot rod community. Let's make things more affordable. Stop trying to charge an arm and a leg for every single thing that's built and everything that's sold, especially if we live in Canada here. A set of hinges for these trucks, I was looking online, they're gonna be like 800 or plus for a set of hinges. Now, that's ridiculous because that's just one component of this truck. There's a reason now that restoring a truck costs $200,000. That is so ridiculous. Who can afford that? I know I can. So the name of the game is to bring costs down, enable more people to do it, get cool trucks like these out on the market, and yeah, and have fun doing it the whole time. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit, I'm gonna stay there.